What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my Game Week 17 predictions in the Premier League. Before we get into it, I do just want to clarify this video is going up after the Nottingham Forest Tottenham game, but just to prove that it is being recorded before, I don't know if you can see that, it's about half an hour before the match. So yeah, I am actually predicting this before because I know I'm going to get it right. No, you recorded after. No, this is getting recorded before. Speaking of Nottingham Forest Tottenham, I've gone with a 2-1 win for Spurs. I do think this is going to be a very tough game for them, and I can see Nottingham Forest getting something here. I could see it being a 2-2, but I think Tottenham just have a bit too much quality, especially given the way they played against Newcastle. They should be full of confidence and they should be aiming to win here. Brennan Johnson homecoming, obviously he signed from Nottingham Forest in the summer. I think that there'll be a big threat on the counter-attack from Forest because Tottenham's high line is obviously something that they will die by, and Forest do have some dangerous players on the counter, like Elanga. And we saw how Villa struggled to break Forest down a few weeks ago when Villa won 2-0. So I can see Tottenham struggling, but I do think the quality they've got, the form that Heung-min Son is in, they should be able to get the job done. Bournemouth against Luton, I've gone with a 3-0 win for the Cherries. I think they're just a bit too good. 4 wins out of 5. I've doubled up on them in FPL, so I've bought in both Milos Kerkez and Dominic Solanke. Hopefully both of them can get me a decent return. Luton are nowhere near as good on the road as they have been at home, although they do have the same amount of wins on the road as they do at home. They're definitely a lot better at home. They're much more difficult to beat. Bournemouth, in the form they're in, should really be looking at this as a big opportunity to get another big win. If they don't win here, I think they'll be really disappointed. Chelsea against Sheffield United, I have gone with a 2-1 win for Chelsea. I can see this being a tough game. I can once again see Sheffield United getting a point here, but I just think that Chelsea cannot afford not to win here. If they don't win here, I think Pochettino's job should be up for debate, especially given how they've performed in recent games. They've been dreadful. Chelsea do have some new injury concerns. Reece James, Cucurella and Sanchez all went off last game, and none of them are going to be available for this one, but they still have so many players. Shouldn't be too big of an issue. Sheffield United played really well against Brentford last week. Going away from home is obviously a different battle. If Chelsea don't win this, it will be a bit embarrassing, if I'm going to be real. And Nkunku should be on the bench in this game as well. He is fit and he is training. Obviously, he's not going to be match fit because he hasn't played in months, but that's good news for them. Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Erling Haaland very unlikely to play. I don't think Doku's going to play either, unfortunately. If them two were fit, it'd probably be 5 or 6-1. Since neither of them are going to be here, I've gone with 3-1 because I still do think that Manchester City have more than enough quality to put Crystal Palace to bed. You know, players like Bernardo Silva, Julian Alvarez, Jack Grealish are all more than good enough. The Manchester City do have the Club World Cup coming up. So this is their last Premier League game before that, and they're going to be missing next week due to that. Crystal Palace just have not been very good in recent weeks. They were quite good against Liverpool though, I will give them that. They were very unlucky not to at least get a point in that one. Going to the Etihad is a completely different challenge, and I don't think that they really have too much of a chance. Although with that being said, they have typically given Man City some good games over the years, so you never know. Newcastle United against Fulham. Fulham are in fantastic form. They scored 10 goals in their last 2 games, and they've only scored 10 goals in the first 4 months of the season. They're playing so well, but both of those games were at home. Newcastle, obviously really disappointed for them that they got knocked out of the Champions League in the week. They were the better side and they probably deserved to win. They're potentially going to be without Gordon for this game. Trippier is suspended, but they do have some players coming back like Longstaff, who has been playing recently. Van Burn is also back, which is a big boost for him. Wilson as well is fit. Because it's at St James's Park, I don't think Fulham really have a chance. I'm going 4-1 to Newcastle. I might be really underestimating Fulham, but they also do have some injury concerns. Tim Ream won't be fit. Could be a good thing. His age is a bit of a big thing now. Like we saw up to Thiago Silva a couple of weeks ago. Issa Diop is also not fully fit, so centre back they're a bit light Fulham. But I think with Newcastle being the home side, they have to fully, they need a big statement win here because of that big Champions League disappointment. I'm sure they'll want to put it right. The atmosphere is going to be insane, as it always is at St James's Park, and I think Newcastle should be able to comfortably win here. Burnley against Everton, the Sean Dyche derby. I'm going with a 3-1 win for Everton. Burnley are going to be without Koleosho for the majority of the rest of the season, which is really bad news for them because he has been one of their few attacking sparks so far this season. Everton have been so good lately, man. In the last couple of games against Newcastle and Chelsea, they were phenomenal, and I think in this game they're once again just going to win quite comfortably. Although Branthwaite is going to be out with suspension, I think Onana potentially could be back. He's a really good player. Burnley just make too many mistakes for me. I can definitely see him gifting Everton one of the goals. But I definitely think Burnley need to win here if they're going to have any chance of surviving. If Arsenal gets Brighton actually won here 3-0 last season, but I don't think that's going to happen again. I've gone 3-1 to the Arsenal. Brighton have scored and conceded in the last 20 games in the Premier League consecutively. I don't see that changing here. I do feel like they'll get a goal because Arsenal don't really keep a lot of clean sheets, but I also don't think that Brighton have anywhere near the defensive power to stop this Arsenal team from winning the game. See, Brighton have just played in the Europa League as well. Arsenal played 2 days early in Champions League, so that's 2 days more rest. I think we could see a bit of fatigue for Brighton here, who haven't been great in the Premier League as of late. Arsenal are going to be aiming to take top spot back before Liverpool play against Manchester United. I think they should be able to do it pretty comfortably. Although Brighton are a good team, they haven't really shown it enough this season. Aston Villa travelling to Brentford. I've gone with a 3-1 win for Villa. I think if Mbeumo was fit for this game, Brentford could have won it because I think he could really damage that high line that Villa play. However, with him being out, it's going to be very difficult for Brentford to get anything. Villa are in fine form. They've fully put themselves in a title race here. I do think they could go on to do it. It's going to be tough for them because there's some very good teams. If they are going to win it, I think they do need to be winning away against the likes of Brentford, who have a very depleted squad. I don't think Bailey can play a part in this game, which is a big miss because he's been very good lately. But Diaby can just come in. It's not the biggest worry in the world. And with how good Villa have been in the last few games, this shouldn't be really that tough a test for them. West Ham United against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I've gone with a 2-0 win for the Irons. West Ham need to bounce back off their humiliating defeat against Fulham last time out in the Premier League. They just beat Freiburg 2-0 in the Europa League to solidify top spot in their group. I think that they should hopefully be able to bring some of that confidence into this game against a Wolves team who will have a couple of players back from injuries. The likes of Lamino are back. However, Pedro Neto is not one of those who are returning. So that's obviously a big boost for West Ham, because if he was there, then Wolves could actually get something here. I think West Ham need to play more on the front foot here. They're going to be the home team. They need to try and get Bowen more involved in this game. And if they can do that, I think they should be able to win this without any worry at all. And the final game, Liverpool against Manchester United. I've gone with a 3-1 win for Liverpool. Certain people think it could be a big scoreline again. My brother thinks it could be like 8 or 9-0. I don't think it can be, but just because I don't think Man United can allow that to happen again. With that being said, Man United's squad is really depleted. They've got a lot of players out. Harry Maguire was a new one added to that list, and that is such a big miss. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's been so good this season. He's been their best player by quite a long way, and they're going to really miss him in this sort of game. However, in more positive news, Luke Shaw should be fit for this game. Rashford should also be fit, but I don't think that's necessarily good news, if I'm going to be honest. I think him starting could make it an 8-0 Liverpool win because he just doesn't track back and he's so lazy. And in this sort of game, you're going to need your wingers to be coming back and supporting the defence. If Man United are to get something here, they're going to just need to neutralise Alexander-Arnold, because I think if you get rid of his threat, no one else creates anything in that Liverpool team. Obviously, that's easier said than done. You know, I'm sure a lot of teams will have tried to do that to Alexander-Arnold, and not many of them will have succeeded this season. I don't think anyone else in that team carries even close to the threat that he does. You know, Salah has been decent creatively, but I don't think he's been great this season in terms of performances. He'll probably end up with a goal because he always does. I think Man United's only real chance for winning is if Mainu does play in this game, because he was so good against Everton. He needs to play here. If it's a double pivot of Amrabat and McTominay and Rashford's also playing, it genuinely could be double figures. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you soon for another video.